Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yes, around here we have brownies for breakfast with our coffee. So, because the subject came up recently with another YouTuber that I just recently came across and started watching, I am going to pull cards on the Rapture. Now, I've already had my own conversations, if you will, with Spirit about this subject, but I've never pulled cards on it. So here we are. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the video and the channel. And right off the bat, we got July on the bottom of the deck. So yeah. Okay, here we go. Spirit, tell me about the Rapture. Okay, so we have May, B, Sunday, Cancer, November 17th, eight house, more specifically, F, February 20. A lot of cards to have fallen out. Makes no sense to me. There are some personal things in there for me, but let me just check the calendar. May. Okay. So, Sunday, May 26th, 2024. That lines up. Okay, so we're talking about the Rapture and eighth house, things we must leave behind, sex and death, right? Okay, so in the Rapture, we are told that we will be taken from the earth and some will get left behind. We're also taught and told that the good are the ones that will be taken and the bad will be left behind to experience the tribulation. Is that it? Well, I'm not quite sure what the rest of that is about, but could be a message that it's already happened, or that maybe it happens more than once. Maybe everything you thought you knew or had been told about it is a lie. Tell me about the rapture. Three of Wands. Preparation, progress, foresight, enterprise, expansion, overseas opportunities, moving forward. Also, waiting for your ships to come in, right? Something about this. It's like they have their back turned to me, to you. They're so busy looking, watching, waiting for this ship to come in, thing to happen. They're missing everything behind them. How long have they been waiting? How much longer will they have to wait? Judgment, right? Well, this has got to be part of the rapture, right? Because judgment must happen before anything can be decided about who's good and who's bad, who stays and who goes, right? So, preparation and waiting for judgment. What else can you tell me about the rapture? Five of Swords. Conflict, upheaval, loss, disagreements, competition, defeating, winning at all costs, sneakiness, bullies, theft, abusive relationships. I am getting that the, the idea of the rapture has been abused, turned into something that it's not, in order to cause conflict, loss, disagreements, in order to be used as a tool to win an argument or a lifestyle. Misused, I suppose you could say. What else about the rapture? Hmm. Two of Cups reverse. Self-love, disharmony, distrust, breakups, imbalance, tension, and broken communication. So again, I'm getting this, not quite what we've been told. Broken communication. There's been a breakdown in the communication, and some of it is unintentional, just lost throughout time. But some of it is intentional because, like we were saying with the Five of Swords, some people know the truth and yet they hide it and they use it and they manipulate it. Or they know the truth but they push the lie because it benefits them in some way. Hmm. So I'm getting Seven of Cups here, and from this I'm getting portals. Like each one of these cups is a portal, right? And seven is actually an important number when it comes to the rapture because it's in Revelation, like the seven cups poured out or something like that. I'm sorry, I read the Bible, but I don't know it by heart. But I'm getting like seven portals, or just, I mean, it doesn't have to stop at seven. I'm just getting that each one of these cups is a portal. Portal to what? A portal to, you know, I don't know. So maybe the rapture is all about like a portal, taking a portal to somewhere else, to a different timeline. And how do we use portals? Well, if you understand the quantum mechanics of it, the micro, macro, and the micro, and the quantum, and the what's the opposite of the quantum? I can't remember right now, but if you understand all of that, then you understand, like the butterfly effect, like every decision that you make has a ripple effect and can change the course of the future. So it's like each one of these choices, each decision is a portal to a different timeline. And maybe that's really what the rapture is all about. And it's not so much, as we've been told, a physical removal, but more a mental one. And maybe for some people it's physical because in the choices that you make, you may choose to leave some people behind and you move forward without them in life. And that causes a ripple effect, right? Sends you to a new timeline, a higher timeline, a better timeline. And really for you, but also the world, because if by making that decision, the person that you left behind ultimately has no choice but to change and own up to their bullshit and raise their vibration, then you've also helped the world, right? And the Nine of Cups. Right, so wish come true, contentment, satisfaction, emotional stability, luxury, and gratitude, right? So it's all about like nine, the most high. It's all about like reaching that most high timeline, the highest timeline, the highest version of yourself. Tell me about the rapture. Ace of Swords. Everything I just said is true, right? But also, it's about breaking through. Rapture is about breaking through the bullshit, breaking through the illusion, breaking through the matrix, whatever you want to call it, whatever you need to be able to wrap your brain around it. Five of Wands. So we have the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands. So again, it's about like competition. Like, I'm getting Hunger Games vibes. Okay. Like, something that I know to be true is that even if it's just like on an energetic level, there are people who have been chosen to compete. Not necessarily against one another, but in a race, kind of, to see who can get there first, right? Who can figure it out the fastest, right? Who, but also who can be the most accurate. And that is, I think, where some people fall short because they lack the understanding. They get caught up. They never get past the disagreement, the ability to open your mind to other possibilities, to understand that maybe the rapture is not quite what we've been told all along. Maybe it's more of an energetic thing than a physical thing, even though there are parts that happen on the physical realm. And that the course, what happens, where we go, the portal that we take collectively has something to do with this competition, this Hunger Games, right? And the fact that, like, it's like the Olympics, right? Okay, so like it happens, it's like a cycle. It happens like every 4 years, right? But this is like on a grander scale, right? And I don't know how often the Hunger Games happen in the Hunger Games, but again, it's something that like it comes up. It happens like over and over and over again. It's happened many times before, but something happens because somebody does something differently. Like instead of being chosen, right? You volunteer. Instead of being randomly chosen, you volunteer. So like somebody changes the game, right? You change the game, you change the story, you change the portal. And 5 is about change. Also, I get from this about talking about change and being different and doing things differently. I lost it. I'm so sorry. I guess it's one of those things that like they don't want to come out because I am having a hard time. It's not, I mean, I'm trying really hard to get it out right, to pull the information. And it is getting a little bit like jumbled, like there's interference. Page of Wands. Inspiration, ideas, discovery, potential, free spirit, exploration, news, information, excitement, and freedom. So I'm getting a little bit that the competition, right, is for freeing the spirit, right? So kind of like, again, the Hunger Games, where they're like fighting to the death for their freedom, right? Of course, in the Hunger Games, they never really get to be free. They just have more freedom than everybody else, right? This is about freeing the spirit, freedom, freeing the spirit, freeing the world from the spirit of oppression, from whatever the archons are, if you know what that is, the authorities, the energetic authorities. You know, it's like playing a video game against the computer. Wheel of Fortune, right? So I'm getting things with this about the zodiac signs and the clock. It's like God's clock, right? God's time, God's clock. And turning the wheel, turning the clock, you know, not getting stuck, but actually progressing in time, in the universe's time, because it can be, you know, 1,000 years on Earth could be a second to the universe, you know, and it would be very easy for us to get stuck or left behind energetically, you know, as a planet. So it's like keeping up with the universe, um, creating the much needed change in order to avoid stagnancy and being left behind. And like what makes the world go round? And cycles, like we were saying, it's cyclical. That this competition, this game, happens every so often, right? The revelation, the rapture, right? All of these things, it's not something that happens once. It's something that's happened many times before and will happen many times again. And that we, part of our human evolution, also is what the Wheel of Fortune is telling me, evolution. It is part of our evolution as humanity, and that the direction that the wheel turns is dependent upon the the people in the game and the choices that they make and the ultimate outcome. Tell me more about the rapture, please. Sorry, I dropped a few cards. Let me see if I can retrieve them. Oh, okay. We have Temperance, Knight of Wands, the Hermit, and the Seven of Wands, and the Four of Wands. So, give me a minute here. It's a lot to put together. So we have the Temperance Angel. Jupiter, growth, expansion. Also goes with that Jupiter Wheel of Fortune, right? The expansion, the change, the evolution, the growth. So evolving, it's about evolving into angels, right? Or bringing heaven to earth. Okay, it's another way that it was already, described to me in some of my conversations with spirit. The rapture is about bringing heaven to earth. Now, this is part of the problem, is that most people don't get that. Most people don't get any of this. They focus on the conflict and the rivalry aspect, and the, oh well, I'm gonna, I give to the poor, so I'm gonna go to heaven and you're not. I'm gonna be taken in the rapture and you're gonna get left behind because I'm better than you. That's not what it's about. It's about growing, learning, evolving. It is about learning to know yourself and furthering and turning the wheel in the evolutionary chain of man. In which direction are we turning it? Hopefully towards temperance, towards the angels. Unfortunately, I think for many, 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 many cycles, it's been turned the other way. So we have the Knight of Wands, energy, passionate, inspired action, adventure. Oh, adventure. Oh, there it is. I was wondering what that card had to do with anything, but now I get it. Adventure. Some people may see it as the hero's journey. Some people may see it as an adventure, right? But it's basically like you living your NPC, non-player character life, right? Like that movie Free Guy, okay? Living your NPC character life, and then suddenly you wake up and your whole life has turned into an adventure. You're on a journey, and it's an adventure. And it's a journey of self-discovery, right? The hermit, soul-searching, introspection, wisdom and truth-seeking. You seek the truth about yourself, and you find it in everything. And the Seven of Wands. Challenge, competition, protection, perseverance, defense, maintaining control, holding your own, and standing up for yourself. So, yeah. So this is very much part of the competition, right? That I was talking about, like the Hunger Games. So it's not necessarily so much a competition with the other energies that are on their journey, right? It's less of a rivalry in that aspect and more of like a race, right? Of the race. But there is opposition to you completing the race, not necessarily by the other energies in the game, but by the people around you in your own life, right? The people that are not in control of themselves. So there is a need to defend yourself, to stand up for yourself, to persevere through adversity, through people who are going to try to stop you and take you off of your path. And you will not succeed. You will not see the end if you do not stand up for yourself, if you cannot persevere, right? Those who endure, the perseverance is like enduring to the end. It's biblical, right? And the Four of Wands, right? So I'm getting this as celebration, joy, harmony, home, right? Home. And again, freedom. So in the end, you get to go home. Or you get to create home. Whatever that means to you. It's like, again, it's like heaven on earth. That's what I'm getting from this. Heaven on earth. Home. Home. Heaven is your home. But you live here on earth. And so you bring heaven to earth. You bring home. You make earth your home and your heaven. That is my understanding of the rapture. Now, I'm going to pull a few more cards about time. Can we get any kind of timing as far as the rapture goes? Can we get a time? Okay, so July and O, but I'm also getting like cycle closing, ending, O, like Z, the end and of the cycle, O, but also Oz. Oh, look at that. We had this energy come out recently, the Wizard of Oz. Maybe, that's got a little something to do with it. And July, Cancer, 17717, right? Okay. All right. Now, I also just want to point out that, we're all on our own journey. So the timing isn't going to match up for everyone. You're on your own path, you're on your own timeline. So someone else's timeline may not be the same as yours. Your rapture may happen this month. Someone else's rapture may not happen till 1 month and 7 years from now. It just depends. And that's another thing about the rapture, right? They make it seem like it happens all at once and it's going to happen to everyone at the same time, and it's not my understanding. It's not how spirit gave it to me. This is how spirit gave it to me. I mean, in the best way that I can describe. It all very much is truth and lines up with what I've already been told by spirit. There's just so much more. There's so many levels. It goes so deep. I could sit here and talk for hours about it, but I feel like this is a good place to stop. So again, thank you for coming to my channel. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you again soon.